macOS Sequoia brings better gatekeeper and stalkerware protections. So gatekeeper is a security feature that checks the apps downloaded from the internet to see if they're developer approved by Apple. Well, developer signed, sorry, approved by Apple. And also they're notarized, and they check it goes all through Apple. It's this whole complicated thing. For any people who use macOS, you'll know, and you'll get big warnings when you try to install something that's not approved and notarized. Until now, macOS users could bypass these warnings by holding down Control, clicking on the file or app they wanted to open, and choosing Open from the resulting contextual menu. I didn't know that, actually. And in macOS Sequoia, users will no longer be able to Control-click to override Gatekeeper when opening software that isn't signed correctly or notarized. They now need to visit System Settings, Privacy and Security to review security information for software before allowing it to run. That's honestly probably the default workflow for most people already. I've never heard of this Control-click to override Gatekeeper before. I've always, for people I know in FAQs and documents online, and even for myself, anytime I have to get around something, I go through the system settings. But for people who were doing it the other way, whoever you are, that is no longer an option for you. Something else that they've introduced is a feature where any apps that do screen recording, screenshot tools, screen or audio recording apps, Apple's now adding a weekly notification to pretty much remind you that these services they still have access to this. I guess the plus here is that these alerts can help people prevent themselves from being victims of stalkerware where they're being monitored by other people. So that's good if someone installs something when they don't know. The bad thing is that there actually already are a lot of complaints about people annoyed with this and how there are legitimate tools that you don't need to be reminded about every week that have this permission. So I've actually already seen one of my favorite bloggers already made a post kind of complaining about this feature, and they're pretty security savvy just by coincidence. They're not a security blogger, but they do touch on security here and there, and they're not even a huge fan of this. So I've heard mixed things about this. I'd be curious for everybody's thoughts if they're affected by this. So again, two big things here. You can't jump around Gatekeeper as easily, and now there's going to be a notification for screen or audio recording apps, as well as screenshot tools. Thanks for watching this surveillance report clip. This is a clip from our surveillance report podcast where we break down the privacy and security news every single week to keep you as safe as possible. So if you want to check out the full podcast and get all the news, check that out down in the description or click one of the things here to check out the main channel. See you next time.